Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Dawn and I'm here working on volume 7 still life with the Roxy's Journaler Stitchery, and the prompt is this at the moment is the vase, a ginger vase, a ginger jar, and a bunch of flowers. And I have worked on this in the previous video, but thought I was ready to go to the next step, which is cutting them. If you haven't caught my other videos, I'm actually making 4 that will stand away from each other, just fractionally. And so the picture will go over the side of the canvas, over the edge, to join up and continue making a picture. So I've pinned it all down, and this video is going to be days apart because what I really wanted to do was to just come back, because it's only moments, but it's going to be days before you see it, to talk about how I'm tackling it. So I've put little tiny pins in it everywhere to hold it in place. I've looked at it for a couple of hours. I'm happy with where the placement of flowers are. It's quite dark, but I thought what I could do is lighten it up with some thread, and that will happen. But from a distance, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. So I'm ready to split them, which is the scary bit. Anyway, we'll see how we go. What I've been really fiddling with is making sure that everything matches, so that when I do split it, they're going to be in the right place. So I've made sure that my table is in line with itself, with each other, and they do line up. That will go over the edge, but it's that line there that's the most important one. And this line here, where there's a straight line, I'm trying to make sure. So now what I'm going to do is split these flowers here and these flowers here. Wish me luck, because it's always scary when you do something out of the box, and I'm going to take my own advice and trust the process, because I've seen this done on other types of artwork, so I'm assuming it's going to look much the same, I hope. Anyway, let's just see what happens next. Okay. All right, so I've turned it around sideways because I'm going to do this split first, and that's just going to take a little bit of my concentration. So what I'm doing is flipping this back to go, okay, when I cut it, it's going to go there, but I want this bit to continue on, so nothing will be lost. Hopefully nothing will be lost. Okay, so here goes nothing. I'm going to fold it back, just put a crease in it here. This leaf and this bit here will probably get cut away because, it's unnecessary. It's underneath here and it doesn't need to be there. But the first bit is this piece here. I don't know how to hold it so that you can still see what I'm doing, and so can I, without you getting my head in it. Okay, cool. All right, I've folded it over there, and I'm just going to clip along here. I'm going to fold that bit back first. Let's do one bit at a time. Get ahead of ourselves. All right, cool. So that bit I need to make sure is there. There's too much bulk here. I don't need it, so I'm actually going to get rid of just those couple of bits. I just put my scissors between, you know, these two bits so that I know that's where they're coming off, and making sure now that that bit is in line with that bit. Cool. A pin. There's going to be too many pins that I'm going to need to sort out. All right, you know, once this bit folds over, this bit's not worth hanging on to, so I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to snip it off in line with that other thing. I can see it underneath. Blind faith is what it's called. Blind faith. And the same thing here. That bit there is not worth hanging on to. It can go. But the next bit is, so let's just fold him back. So what I'm doing is folding it in line with that edge, making sure that they're all the time meeting. All right, so what I did before was just folded it back. And snip it through. Am I trying to cut through a pin? Something's stopping the scissors. Oh, because there's another bit here. Oh, that's all right. Good. So again, matching that bit of picture up there so that when they hang together, is that where it went? Oh, there. Gosh, see that bit of, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. What can I point with? This. So see that line there is got to match up with that line there. So I haven't moved any of these, so I'm hoping that they're all going to stay in the right place. I know that there's a pin under there, but it's the pin that's holding the background, you know, the edge underneath here. I'm not going to move it yet. Blind faith in my own artwork. Gosh. All right, I'm going to leave a pin out of that for a minute because I need to trim this one. So this flower is going to come back in the same way, just giving myself a bit of a crease so that I know where I'm cutting. And while I'm being really careful about making sure that I'm matching everything, because it will be folded over, the very, very edge of it you're not going to see. All I want to do is make sure that the colourway matches. Where did I cut that from? There? Yes, good. I've got a piece here that I'm trying to line up, and that bit's going over the top. So it's going to go on the edge of this piece. This one's coming over there. Another pin. Put it in that. And pop it in there. Good. All right. I think we're done. I think I've caught all of those edges now. Not gonna reveal the surprise till I'm ready, and then we're all gonna hold our fingers together, okay? You're all gonna keep your fingers crossed, and so am I. All right, this is the next bit. So that is gonna fold down. So what I'm gonna do is actually go cut around that one, because it doesn't need to be joined there. I'm gonna play with this one a little bit. Get rid of those pointy bits, because if there's a little bit of a space, I'm all right with that, because the majority of this will get covered. This tiny little bit here, like by the time the edge of the canvas goes, this is all you're going to see here. That will be over there. But so long as those two lines are in line with each other, see that and there, that one and that one, it'll make sense. What was that saying? Blind faith. I don't know whether I've ever had blind faith in my own self. Maybe I have. It's probably not something that happens all the time. Making sure that those are, so I can see that line. Good. Now this one I'm going to cut apart, because this bit of leaf is going to, you know, it's not going to transfer. Maybe I can flip it around completely, and I'm going to cut this flower and this bit away from this bit. That's where I'm going with it. It's a bit harder to do. The hardest part is that I don't get my head in the video. I've got these nice little scissors that I have to take to the scissor man, because I dropped them on a concrete floor. Oh, look how the points. Oh, that was actually when I was at a retreat. I just about died, because they're the sharpest scissors that I own, and the point was magnificent. Anyway, I dropped them. All right, so not as desperate to have that. So that little bit of that flower I'm going to lose, and that little bit of that leaf I'm going to lose, but it's just going to be lost to the sake of everything else. If it tucks over there, and it tucks over there, and then this one is going to start here and come out here, so that it, there, I can just see there's a little bit of brown here, and that brown there, which is where I cut it off. So just trying to keep the angle right. So when I look at it from a distance, I can see that line, and that's the part that I'm more concerned about than anything else. Oh, I'm throwing pins around here, and oh, here. I thought I'd lost it. Good. Okay, ready? The big reveal. The big reveal. So they will pull apart like that. Oh, you can't see. There we go. How's that? They will pull apart like that. I'm not going to have them, I don't want to have them like miles away from each other. Just a bit. I actually think that's what I was thinking. Some of this will tuck in, but you'll be able to see it, because it's not that much. It's kind of like, you know, half an inch. Good. All right. Well, think I'm ready to start tacking it down. Yeah, I know it's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but I just decided to give myself a little bit of a challenge in what this was overall going to look like. And you know, I know that joins to there. I can see from a distance here that joins to that. And that's probably a continuation. That's probably a continuation, I think. That's definitely a continuation. Just need to make sure that when I hang them straight. I'll have to get my ruler out, my leveler. Alrighty, good. Now I've got these little bits that I can play with in my hand rather than the big bits. I admire all of the lovely people who are doing a giant one, but I'm doing little ones. Okay, cool. I'm gonna hang up, I was gonna say. I'm gonna leave you for now. It's probably time for me to get my tea sorted because I've been playing with this all afternoon. And I'll catch you again very soon because it'll be an add-on to this one. Anyway, hope you're all good. I'll be back in a couple of days, maybe. Okay, so I've changed my mind. I'm needle turning. I'm needle turning the vase. You know, it gets a few whoops and doops, but you know, that's all right. I just think it's a better finish. You can see the little stitches here, but they'll probably relax at some point where you won't necessarily notice them. So I just thought I'd come and show you how I'm needle turning. So I'm literally just turning the scantest bit with my needle. With needle turn, where your thread comes out, you just go back like one thread and come forward underneath the base fabric and then into the top fabric and just run the needle under that, sort of along the fold line almost. I probably didn't pull it on the other side tight enough, but literally I'm just turning the merest bit in there. I thought about just overcasting it and then I went, no, I'm going to do this. I've been thinking about how I'm going to tackle the embroidery on it. I think I might leave the flowers alone and I might just, if I just pulled that thread a bit tighter, maybe I can go back and, I don't know whether I can, go back and pull it tighter. Let me just see if I can from this side. Yeah, see, there's probably a bit of slack here. But I can, if I use the back of the needle, it's always helpful. I'm not going to get it under that one. Yeah, see how it makes the stitches disappear? Just needed to concentrate on that a bit more. But if you give them a bit of a, see how much I'm actually getting. So that's getting rid of those little dots that were there before. While it's still the same piece of thread, I haven't had to start another one. So how much thread I'm actually getting? Quite a bit actually. But I just thought I'll come and do this. Oh gosh, I'm really like, yeah, that's way better. Way better. Way better. Sometimes my English slang isn't great. Never mind. You know what I mean. Yeah, so cool. I actually think the needle turn has given it, you know, it's given it a chance to pop off. I've still got a whoop there, but no, it's just life. It's just the vase has got a bump in it. It's just how I turn the bit of thread over. It's probably, oh, there's my dinner. There's my dinner timer. I'll be back in a
Sorry,
second.
I always think, I've got a bit more time than I do, and but I do put the timer on because otherwise I'll forget about it and I'll be stitching away here and I've got burnt dinner, but it's not burnt yet, so that's good. Oh, I'm using a needle with the tiniest hole, but the reason I'm using it, you can't even see what I'm trying to do here. You probably don't need to. It's nice and fine. Maybe it's a sharp. And yeah, it's got a weeny hole. But because I'm only using normal sewing machine thread, but I really wanted it to be sharp and fine so I could do this sort of level of stitching. All right, so remember to pull it. Go back just that one thread behind where the last one came out, and then when you pull it, it should bury it, which usually it does, and it didn't before. But yeah, I'm happy about the fact that I've decided to needle turn it. I think that's definitely made it a finish that, just makes, I don't want to say, all the time. I'm very sorry that I do it. Sometimes I listen back to myself and I can't believe how many times I've actually said it. So what I'm trying to say is that it lifts it off the table, and that was kind of the look that I was going for. These funny little sayings that we say without even thinking about them, like and other weird sayings. Yeah, so just going back that one thread before where the last one came out, and when you pull it up, it helps the thread to disappear. If you're looking at working needle turn, I always work on the piece right to left as well, and that certainly makes it easier for me. That's the way I feel comfortable stitching, so you might want to go from left to right, but I go from right to left, and once you pull that thread through, you just give it a little bit of a tug, which just helps to bury it. Oh, pulled the thread out again. What a bother. What a bother. Good. Not too painful. But I'm definitely happier about the finish now of how this vase is sitting. I need to go round and catch all the flowers with some form of maybe invisible stitch just to hold it down, try and get rid of some pins, because they're just going to contribute to the difficulty of stitching when threads get tangled around them. I think what I was saying before is that I may leave the flowers alone and not do too much thread painting on those, but concentrate more on the leaves and add some additional embroidery stitches that continue the picture, but I want to capture some light. So I'm thinking that some of the leaves I might try and lighten a little bit. I'm doing this on Saturday night prior to Rachel and Sarah giving us a little bit of insight into their sort of part 2, if you like, of this prompt. So just, there we go. There's the thread come out again, out of the net. I'm not going to subject you to that. Way better than it was. There's one there. That probably could do with a tighten. Sometimes when you're going over, you know, a bit of extra texture, bit of extra, cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think I might have to go back and try and give that one a bit of a poke in there. I can poke it with the needle. It just jumps at me every time I look at it, so I'm going to have to do something about it. Good. All right, that's where I'm going. I'll come back to you. All right, back again. But I think this will be the last bit of this video before I put it up for you guys to see. There's still a little bit for me to do, but yep, I think I'm getting close to completing it. Yep, I unpicked it and fixed it. I couldn't stand it. It was just every time I looked at it, that's all I could see. So I thought, no, that's got to go. I've had a couple of changes since I probably first started on this journey. One of the biggest changes is the amount of space that I felt I didn't have enough of at the top. Sorry, tip you up. Up here, I worried that I'd gone too high. So there's about that much left. But anyway, so I did do a bit of rearranging. Unless you go back and take a photo, you're probably not going to see what I did. The other thing that I've been doing is looking at a bit of light. Every time I walk past it, I just thought it's so dark and probably not my normal style. But anyway, it is what it is, because I decided not to combine different fabrics of flowers. I've used them from the same piece of fabric material. So what I decided to do was add these little bits, and I've been sitting looking at them now for, since yesterday, trying to decide whether I was going to add them. And I think I am going to add them. I just need to cut out another bit. I think I need a paler bit. This was a piece of lace that I dyed myself, and so it's different all over it. And there's some bits that are paler and some bits that are a bit more orangey and some bits that are a bit redder, and yeah, but I'm looking for like a pale colour that I just think just here it needs that bit of light. And so these sort of motifs probably going to work. I think this seems to be the paler side. So that flower there. Oh, yep, you can't see what on earth I'm doing. Yeah, that flower there is probably what I'm thinking. It needs probably not a huge amount of difference to you, but here it looks different, so that's good. The other thing that I've been doing is that I've been going back in and cutting away excuse me, a bit more of the in-between bits of fabric that I hadn't done. I don't know if I need a leaf, so I'm just going to cut it just in case I do. Yeah, so I've been going back and trimming, you know, fussy cutting them out a bit more, only because I think that sort of beigey background that they were printed on was adding to the darkness, where I've got quite light background, and then suddenly my piece went quite dark. So I thought, I was glad. I'm just taking my time, not stitching. I've done a bit of stitching, I'll show you in a minute. That was sort of yesterday and last night. And then, yep, after tea, and that was kind of like I couldn't be bothered doing anything else. And I thought, this morning I've had a fiddling around today. It's the afternoon now. What happened to the other one? Yeah, definitely a bit paler. So I thought the pale bit could go on there and then the darker bit down here. And then I've got this bit up here that I just put in there for just to have a look at. Do I need to get, it's just covering that rose, I know, but it's just bringing the light. And I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but it's got a bit of a shine, this lace, so I'm hoping that it's going to do the light thing. And there's another rosebud up here, but see these bits of brown in here? That's what I've been concentrating on, cutting more of it away. Haven't done those bits there yet. I've been working on the bottom panel, but doing a bit of everything. I'm going to trim around these more. And the fabric on its own is quite robust, but it will fray, and I've had a bit of a go at doing a little overcast stitches and wasn't happy with the finish, so I'll show you that in a second. So yeah, so these lacy bits, I think they're going to go in there. I think I'm pretty convinced about that. I've been sitting looking at that for 24 hours and going, am I, aren't I, am I, aren't I? And then thought, yes, I am. These I'm not stitching down. Oh, sorry. The leaves, these leaves, they're only going to be stitched a little bit, so that what I noticed was I liked this curl about them, and I thought, oh, they just like stood out. I don't want to flatten it all down onto the into the background where I might normally like it. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the screen then and thinking, yeah, I think I'm happier with those flowers there. They're just a bit lighter. These ones through here are the same colour. As I said, I haven't got a lot of yellow, but I'm planning on working on that. I'll show you what I'm doing with the leaves. Oh, why can't I get that through there? Oh, because there's another pin in there. But I'm pinning them so that I don't lose them. I don't even mind how that's just, spreading itself out there. I'm going to put these two on here and then work out what I'm going to do next. Here's where I was trimming around the leaf a bit more, because I was not at all happy. I'd gone around this outside edge here, and it really it almost frayed away under the needle, and so I did that down here, and yeah, you can see it's gone like all fluffy along the edge here, and I've been picking away at it with my scissors, but haven't quite got there yet. I've used some wool embroidery. These were just lazy daisies in there, one inside the other, and just a bit of stem stitch and straight stitch. And then I decided that I needed light, and so as a whole, the fluoro is bright, and I wanted to brighten it up. I just felt that
it needed to be brightened up. I've tried a couple of things. I tried the green, and now I'm using this yellow one, just single strand only, so that I looked at the wools. I've got wools, but I thought they were too heavy. I didn't want to use wools. In saying that, they're still sitting here because I can't decide whether I want to put them away or not. And yeah, but I just wanted to show you, this fluoro-y edging. Again, not everything's going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I like it. When I was doing the Fleur Woods course, she talked about unifying things with a similar outline, and she certainly uses fluoros, and I've become a little bit addicted to them. I don't know how come I didn't pick fluoro flowers for this, just saying. But anyway, and then I saw Sarah's video this morning and I thought, oh gosh, she's done fluoro flowers, and there we go. But that's not surprising because I know she likes them too. So yeah, so that's where I'm headed. I have to decide whether I won't do every single leaf, but I'll do quite a few just to sort of give them a little bit of cohesion. But it was the light that I was looking for. Before, when I was sitting here fiddling around, I was thinking maybe I could put a bit of gold embroidery in there. That would bring a bit of light to it, because I don't know, I haven't really decided on that yet. But anyway, I think this is enough for now. It's a lovely project, but it's going to take a really long time, and a lot of that is about making these decisions. I overcast it, thread embroidered, thread painted it, and thought it was just too dark. So yeah, so I just needed to resolve that. That was yesterday's effort, and I just thought I'm not going to do any more with you today, because I just want to do this video and I want to get on to stitch without having to keep thinking about talking. Not that I don't like talking to you, I do like talking to you, but it holds me up a bit, or I get panicky and I don't do anything else. Cool, I'm just still looking at it through the monitor, which is a bit silly, isn't it? Cool, all right, well, yeah, because you're not going to see those white bits. That's the thing that I want to keep reminding myself about. I think that these two flowers need some adjustment because they just don't quite match up. There seems to be a problem going on here, and so I need to work on that, resolve that sort of situation. But yeah, you won't see the white. You'll only see, the only bit of stuff you'll see is the wool behind it when I separate them. Cool. All right, well, I think that's me for this video. I'm going to join them all up because it was a lot of stopping and starting between, yesterday and Saturday. It's Monday afternoon now. I've had a busy weekend. I've done lots of sort of funny, I've done preserve bottling. My beetroot in the garden was all ready to go. I bought a box of plums and a box of little tiny pickling onions, those little round ones. So I've got pickled beetroot and pickled onions, plum jam. Cool. And yeah, I keep coming back and forwards to look at this, so I'm going to actually pack it up off my desk because I want to take it to the couch to get some of that stitching done. So that's me. You probably won't hear about this one now again for another week. Alrighty, I hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.